Tonight, the teenager who hit and killed Charlie Stevens at Schoolies is spared jail. Police Commissioner Grant Stevens speaks outside court. 5 men arrested and a luxury car seized as Operation Eclipse smashes a dent in the city's tobacco wars. The King and Queen cook up a storm as they race around Sydney in an action-packed final day of their Australian tour. A Black Hawk revealed as the latest weapon in the state's bushfire arsenal. And Darcy Fogarty signs a deal to make him a Crow for life.
This is 10 News First Adelaide with Kate Freebairn.
Good evening. Less than a year after the Police Commissioner's son, Charlie Stevens, was struck and killed in a hit-run at Schoolies, the teenager who was behind the wheel has learned his fate in court. Dhiren Randhawa has been spared jail for the crime.
Late to his own sentencing, Dhiren Randhawa rushes into the district court, his mother by his side, unknowing if her teenage son would be leaving with her.
Are you worried about going to jail today?
At just 19 years old, Randhawa pleaded guilty to aggravated driving without due care and leaving the scene of a crash after causing Charlie Stevens' death at Schoolies celebrations in November last year.
Each court date that's come up has been difficult, stressful and emotional for our family. We're grateful that Dhiren chose to plead guilty to this offence because that brought this part of it to a conclusion much more quickly.
The court today hearing 18-year-old Charlie was standing on the road with his friends in Goolwa when they asked Randhawa for a ride. Their request denied because the young driver didn't have his full licence. And although Randhawa wasn't speeding when he approached the group a second time, he did accelerate, swerving right to avoid the group of men but hitting Charlie, who he hadn't seen, and driving off.
The court heard Randhawa believed he was in danger after he struck Charlie because he heard the victim's friends yelling and still carries trauma from an incident in 2021 when he was attacked by a group of men.
He then turned himself into police shortly after on his mum's advice. To their relief, Randhawa was spared custody and with it, risk of deportation to Malaysia, instead receiving a 13-month suspended sentence. Judge Tracy handed the teenager a 2-year good behaviour bond and disqualified him from driving for a decade.
Was that the outcome you were expecting?
The end of the court process, but a lifetime of heartache for the Stevens family.
It's not that we now move on, that we're learning to live life without Charlie, and we're just always reminded of his absence.
Brianna Boylan for 10 News First.
Police are making major advances on suspected masterminds of the ongoing tobacco trade wars. This morning, detectives arrested 5 men across Adelaide. They're accused of money laundering and using standover tactics on retailers. Rebecca Wilson has the story.
An escape hole left after the latest attack on a northern suburbs tobacco shop. Intruders breaking in through the rear door of a Craigmore nail salon at around 6 a.m, then smashing their way into the adjoining smoke shop.
Well, it's scary stuff, really. Wouldn't expect it to happen on my doorstep. It's ridiculous, yeah.
While nothing was stolen, glass cabinets at ASG Smokes and Gifts were destroyed and an ATM inside the shop hacked open. Officers from the Operation Eclipse task force are now investigating links to Adelaide's escalating illicit tobacco war.
We're currently receiving very little cooperation from the owners and or the victim.
It's one of 3 stores of the chain targeted in the past month. Shops at Brooklyn Park and Rosewater firebombed as authorities struggle to stop a wider spate of attacks.
Currently there's 17 arsons that we're investigating and we're in the process. We'll conduct a full review.
Police say the 2 men seen fleeing today's break-in are still on the loose, but major arrests have been made as part of the crackdown. 5 men from the northern suburbs aged between 23 and 34, charged with assault, money laundering and using standover tactics on behalf of crime gangs.
It's clear to us that the arrests today will significantly disrupt those involved in the illicit tobacco trade.
6 businesses were raided in relation to the arrests, tobacco, cash and a luxury Range Rover seized.
There are quote-unquote a ton of resources that are being devoted to this issue.
However, there's growing anxiety for those caught up in the chaos.
Well, the wider impact is more harm to the community, simple as that.
The neighbouring salon said it's the 3rd time in less than a week that they've become collateral damage, having to repair a gaping hole after break-ins on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, they should be left alone, yeah. And they're probably feeling threatened as well, you know.
Rebecca Wilson for 10 News First.
An accused drug driver who had a child in the car has caused a pile-up at Elizabeth Grove. Police say the man rear-ended a Holden, which was sent into the back of an MG sedan just before 8:30 this morning on Main North Road. The 39-year-old man allegedly tested positive to drugs. A passenger in the Holden was taken to hospital. It was a second crash on the same road this morning. A Glazier's ute also smashed into the back of a bus. A Barossa taxi driver's escaped serious injury after his cab burst into flames. It happened on the busy north-south motorway at Wingfield yesterday evening. The 75-year-old man was conscious and breathing, but was still taken to the Queen Elizabeth Hospital as a precaution as he was feeling faint. To the royal visit now, and a crowd gathered around the Sydney Opera House has been rewarded as King Charles and Queen Camilla stopped by to meet the public. Samara Gardner's live for us at the Opera House. Samara, what kind of reception did they receive?
About 10,000 people were here outside the Opera House, ready to give the King and Queen a very royal wave. Their Majesties arrived with plenty of fanfare. They went first inside the Opera House, meeting with officials and artists before making their way down the Opera House steps and meeting with the general public. It's a moment that some of the people here had waited all day for. We saw people racing, literally running to get a front row spot in the hope that they might be able to shake the hand of the King or Queen. For those people who were able to do it, it was certainly worth the wait. This really was the last opportunity for Sydney-siders to get up close to the royals as they wrap up their tour, and it was a very busy last day of their royal tour of Australia.
Cooking up a feast fit for a king and queen. The royal couple's final day down under had a quintessentially Aussie flavour. 500 people packed a park in Western Sydney for an invite-only community barbecue, showcasing the area's diverse culture and locally grown produce.
Being here in Western Sydney also gives me an opportunity to see at first-hand what I've heard about before, and that is that Parramatta and the region around it has become one of the most dynamic, enterprising and culturally diverse communities in the world.
Their Majesties met with local celebrities, community members and volunteers. The only one seemingly not captivated by the King and Queen, Sheepdog Colt, focused on the flock for a demonstration from the Royal Agricultural Society. It was a case of divide and conquer for the royal couple, who spent the morning whisked from one event to another. The King started the day at Redfern's National Centre for Indigenous Excellence, greeted with a smoking ceremony.
We've got stories to tell, and I think you witnessed that story yesterday.
And treated to traditional dance performances before meeting with Indigenous leaders. The monarch then swapped his crown for a hard hat and high vis to view a social housing project created in partnership between the New South Wales Government and the King's Trust. Across town, Queen Camilla donned an Oz Harvest apron, giving volunteers a helping hand in the charity kitchen, before being bestowed the greatest honour, the Order of the Teaspoon.
The purpose of the teaspoon is to remind us of random acts of goodness, of all of the things that we do every day to make a difference for people.
Outside, well-wishers eagerly awaited a glimpse of Her Majesty.
Gorgeous. I love the dress. Very nice to see her. It's wonderful to meet her, and she looked gorgeous. Better in the flesh.
It is the first time I have shaken hands with royalty. It's been a very big thrill and a big privilege.
Among the crowd, a popular feathery friend, Caesar the parrot.
Hello, Caesar. Caesar, say hello. How often is it the king meets the queen? Caesar does mean king after all.
Then it was off to Green Square Library for a writing workshop where the Queen met with authors, students and the New South Wales Deputy Premier Prue Carr, perhaps inspiring the next generation of literary stars to write a bestseller. The King, who paused his own cancer treatment to travel, spent the afternoon with melanoma survivors and world-leading researchers as the sun sets on an historic Australian tour. Samantha Butler for 10 News First.
Well, let's check in with Max Burford now for a look at sport. Max, what have you got for us tonight?
I've got a monster contract extension, Kate. That is what. Darcy Fogarty has signed a 6-year deal with the Crows. He'll explain how he intends to repay that showing of faith later in sport. Plus, a superstar jockey thrown from one of the favourites ahead of this weekend's Cox Plate leaves onlookers shocked. And Alex Carey and Nathan McSweeney continue their scintillating starts to the summer of cricket.
We will see you soon. Thank you, Max. Coming up in 10 News First, a northern suburb opens up land to first home buyers. And Tiff is happy as a clam down at the bay for a seafood festival.
He's been picked to play, but his wife's in charge.
I've got better luck than he has.
Does he dare go against her advice? Next on Deal or No Deal. It's the Great Taskmaster Roast.
Roast each character the quickest. You look like a goat if it was ugly.
You're obviously some Benjamin Button type freak.
7:30 tonight on 10 and 10 Play.
Take on life's most stubborn stains with Shark Stain Striker. Lightweight and compact, Shark Stain Striker is the ultimate portable stain eliminator. Perfect for wine, pet stains, oil and grease. The dual-activated solution delivers powerful, tough stain elimination, leaving everything looking like new. Removes tough stains and odours. With Shark's powerful suction, you can say goodbye to dirt and grime. Strike down stains wherever they happen with the Shark Stain Striker.
There's never been more ways to save at Foodland, from everyday low prices to price matching. Great. And huge discounts on our weekly specials.
Great.
Foodland. Great savings live here.
You hate wasting money, right? Then what's this? You could switch health insurance easily. Remember, keep your eye on the bill. Switching health insurance is easy with Compare the Market. Simples.
Are you peeling lucky? It's ready, set, peel and win. Over $46 million in prizes. Cash, holidays, free Shell fuel for a year. Millions of things. 1 in 5 wins at Shell Coles Express and Ready Express.
Doing good never looks so great.
Would you like silly socks with that?
Yep.
Yep.
Put on your silly socks and grab a reversible bucket hat from now until Saturday, November 16th.
Oh, and he fights the cap. And he's through!
Earthwise's new plant-powered cleaning action delivers uncompromising results. Incoming. Earthwise. Eco made logical.
Take on life's most stubborn stains with the Shark Stain Striker. Lightweight and compact, the Shark Stain Striker is perfect for removing wine, pet stains, oil and grease. Strike down stains wherever they happen with the Shark Stain Striker.
King Charles will travel with 2 doctors and a spare supply of blood as he packs his bags for Australia. Her name's Camilla.
This week, UK comedy legend Bill Bailey joins Mel and Tim on the cheap seats tonight on 10.
It's something that no other art form can do. It's pure film.
Here are some of today's weather photos from across South Australia. If you'd like to share your own, you can join our Adelaide Weather Watchers group on Facebook. You can also find us on Instagram at 10ADL Weather Watchers, or you can tag me using the hashtag #SAWithTiff.
Back to the royal visit now, and the King and Queen still have one more engagement on today's agenda. Let's go live now to Alice Hogg in Sydney. Alice, what are they up to next?
Well, Kate, the King and Queen are in the final stages of that very final engagement on their royal tour here in Australia. They've been taking part in a review of our naval fleets. We saw them a short time ago get on a boat just across the water from us by the Opera House. But then not too long ago, they've now appeared to have completed that trip, stepping off the vessel at Admiralty House. In between that, as part of the review of our naval fleet, they've been inspecting the HMAS vessels that are anchored in the harbour. They include HMAS Warramunga, Yarra and Hobart. The Governor-General has joined them for this trip, including as well as the Defence Force Chief and the Chief of the Navy for this final engagement. And plenty of people have also been lining the foreshore of Sydney Harbour to catch a final glimpse of the Royals. They've also been encouraged to look up while out on the water for a special fly past in their honour. And they've also received a special cheer ship salute from more than 600 officers and sailors who've been lining the decks of these HMAS vessels. It is, though, the very last event on their calendar for this Australian trip after a very brief but short time here in Australia. And as just mentioned, we did see them step off that vessel a short time ago at Admiralty House, Kate.
A big day for royal watchers. Thank you, Alice. Salisbury North residents have been forced to flee a blaze that consumed 2 properties on Bagster Road. MFS and CFS crews raced to the scene this morning, finding the roof ablaze and the home smoke-logged.
This was a duplex property. There was 3 occupants in one of the properties and 1 occupant in the other. Working smoke alarms alerted all occupants to get out safely. We'd had 1 occupant that tried to go back into the house, but we stopped that person as the house was filling with smoke and getting very hot.
Crews managed to extinguish the blaze without it spreading. Hundreds of affordable land blocks are being opened up to South Australian first home buyers in the northern suburbs. Nearly 300 allotments are up for grabs at Manopara, size between 270 and 520 square metres.
Under $222,000 for the land. And that's a really critical thing to give people on modest incomes, on lower middle class incomes.
The land release is part of the Playford Alive development, projected to house more than 40,000 people by the end of 2027. Adelaide audiences are in for a treat. Disney's Beauty and the Beast production is set to play for the first time next year. And a wait list has been created for those who want to be first in line for tickets. The season opens next May.
I want adventure in the great wide somewhere. I want it more than I can tell.
Go to beautyandthebeastmusical.com.au to sign up for priority access before pre-sale begins next month. It's time to check in on the weather now, and Tiff Warne has got the details live at a cloudy Glenelg. Tiff, a seafood festival will dish up South Australia's finest produce there this weekend.
It sure will, Kate. The Sea to Shore is returning here to the Glenelg foreshore in 2024, but this weekend it's running across both Saturday and Sunday for the first time, with local restaurants dishing up some delicious seafood dishes. Joining me now is Chef Rod Macedo from Olivetti. Chef, what will you be serving up this weekend?
Well, thank you for having me here. We'll be serving this weekend our Blue Swimmer Crab Roasty, which will be a crispy base, potato base, with crab, ginger, chili, and a lot of other things that we cannot reveal, secret. And also we're going to be serving tarama salata, or tarama for the close ones, which will be our crispy potatoes as well, very nice, very flavorful, topped up with botarga and the tarama salata dip.
Wow, so why should people come down and check out the festival?
I reckon it's really important for us to come see this amazing view scenery, but also we are a lot of great restaurants here. They're doing great food, and we're showcasing this amazing seafood that is South Australian, and I think it will be amazing.
Sounds like it. Thank you so much, Chef.
Thank you.
Thank you. Weather-wise, it was a warm night, an overnight low of 17 before we reached our top of 24, but it is a little fresh down here in the wind, so I've got the puffer jacket on, but hopefully we'll warm up by the weekend for the festival. Kate?
Yeah, hopefully the sun's back out for the weekend. Thank you too. Ahead in 10 News First. Senator Lydia Thorpe defends her royal rant amid calls for her to resign. And Israel ramps up attacks on Beirut as it uncovers a security breach back home.
$7:30 Wednesday on 10. The $1 Million Ideas. Want one of these?
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
Love this. We're asking for a $1 million investment. $1 million investment.
That might be the biggest ask we've ever seen on Shark Tank.
I would definitely buy one.
Or how about this game-changing glue?
Say goodbye to wardrobe malfunctions for good.
Have you ever heard of anything like this?
No, it's very clever. I want to offer you all the money.
Ignore that offer.
Shark fight.
The $1 Million Ideas you wish you'd thought of. 7:30 Wednesday.
At Domino's, we think you deserve more for less. That's why we do up to 50% off every Tuesday. Just order 1 or 2 pizzas to get 40% off. Order 3 or more and get 50% off. Pick up or delivered Tuesday only.
The four-wheel drive and adventure show plus Club Marine SA Boat Show is on. All the gear and advice to get out there and explore. Enter to win a Kimberley Adventure. Four-wheel drive and adventure show plus Club Marine SA Boat and Fishing Show this Friday, Saturday and Sunday. Adelaide Showground.
Looking for a used car? Then get the Jarvis Jeps Cross. It's Adelaide's biggest range of used cars at the one location. You're bound to find what you want at just the right price.
Hyundai Accent Sport 15,888. Outlander 23,888. Hilux SR5 41,888.
All with the Jarvis free 3-year unlimited kilometre warranty.
Mazda 3 24,888. Everest Trend 31,888. RAV4 Hybrid 36,888. Jarvis Jeps Cross.
Hurry! It's 5 p.m. Saturday.
Enjoy your free trial, Mark. Hello? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
So, how'd it sound?
Loud and clear.
Hear well, feel good. Try our new almost invisible Ampli Mini for free. Call 13MyEars to book your appointment today.
We know that women tend to prioritise others' needs over their own. It's time to put your mental health first. Don't wait until it's too late. Seek support today. Lit Timber Foundation, the leader in women's mental health.
Go a Mose, go a Mose. You do the high bit. Go a Mose, go a Mose. What's the price, Cat? Get some. Go a Mose. Go a Mose mouth-watering hot dog at OT.
Ooh, someone's making a meal of it.
Reversing's tricky.
Oh, no worries. You're with Budget Direct.
Moneybags Insurer of the Year. 8 years in a row.
Insurance solved with Budget Direct.
This month only, Sunboost is taking up to a massive $1,000 off all solar systems and home batteries. And the mega-selling 6.6 kilowatt premium Australian home system, all heavily discounted. Be quick, ends October 31.
Call 1300 Sunboost today.
At Domino's, we think you deserve more for less. That's why we do up to 50% off every Tuesday. Just order 1 or 2 pizzas to get 40% off. Order 3 or more and get 50% off. Pick up or delivered Tuesday only.
He's been picked to play, but his wife's in charge.
I've got better luck than he has.
Does he dare go against her advice? Next on Deal or No Deal.
Welcome back. It's the stunt that's captured attention beyond our shores. Indigenous Senator Lydia Thorpe has justified her yelling at the King yesterday, saying it was global truth-telling. While at home, there are calls for her to consider resigning or be sanctioned.
A senator seizing the moment. A king seemingly taking it in his stride. But the message has been well and truly delivered.
Why did you do it?
I did it for truth-telling. Global truth-telling.
It resulted in that British Sky News interview and has captured media attention across the world.
It's all about portraying me as an angry black woman. Well, yeah, I'm angry. I'm angry because I see too many of our people dying, too many people incarcerated.
There's been condemnation at home. The actions of the independent senator in the Great Hall were disrespectful. This is not the standard of behaviour Australians rightly expect of parliamentarians, the Prime Minister said.
I think it was disrespectful and most Australians dismiss it on that basis.
But the Coalition has indicated this shouldn't be the end of the matter.
I think there's a very strong argument for somebody who doesn't believe in the system but's willing to take $250,000 a year from the system to resign in principle.
He actually put a code of conduct in place for a more respectful parliament. PM, time to use it.
This image was also shared on Senator Thorpe's Instagram, which she says was posted by one of her staff without her knowledge. I deleted it as soon as I saw. I would not intentionally share anything that could be seen to encourage violence against anyone. As a Greens turned independent senator, she's known for being fiercely outspoken. She's clashed with police, staged a protest at Mardi Gras, and opposed the Voice referendum.
The referendum is an act of genocide.
Her actions yesterday have been criticised by some Indigenous elders involved in the royal festivities.
There is a time and a place where that can be discussed, but I think that was a little bit inappropriate.
But other elders released a statement of support. Ashley Raper for 10 News First.
Israeli authorities have uncovered a sophisticated spy network arresting 7 citizens who were gathering information about military bases for Iran. The domestic security breach comes as the IDF attempts to cut off Hezbollah's cash flow by targeting the terror group's financial system.
A powerful nighttime explosion sends shockwaves across Beirut. At least 4 people were killed in the airstrike near the capital's main public hospital as Israeli attacks on a Hezbollah-linked bank intensify.
Our strikes will degrade Hezbollah's ability to finance its attacks on Israelis.
The IDF now claims Hezbollah is using a hospital bunker to hide millions of dollars in cash and gold. Strikes in Lebanon have hit more than a dozen bank branches so far, flattening one building and leaving others damaged beyond repair. This neighbourhood is all civilian with nothing here, this man says. Our stores and our livelihoods are gone. Israel's military reach is spreading beyond Lebanon. In another blow to Hezbollah, Israel says it killed the head of the group's financial arm in a strike in the Syrian capital, Damascus. The expanding attacks come as the US Secretary of State makes his 11th visit to the Middle East since the war in Gaza began.
And he's going to discuss the importance of ending certainly the war in Gaza, securing the release of all hostages, alleviating the suffering of the Palestinian people.
A ceasefire in Gaza is desperately needed. In the northern part of the Strip, there are reports more than 600 Palestinians have been killed in 17 days. Mounting human misery as Israel's air and ground operations persist. John Paul Gonzo for 10 News First.
Coming up, a businessman accused of indecently assaulting more than a dozen women has been refused his request for restrictions to be relaxed. That's next. And why the window is closing faster than ever to be ready this bushfire season.
The un-Australian era on a menu fit for a king tonight, 6:30.
It's the Great Taskmaster Roast.
Roast each character the quickest. You look like a goat if it was ugly.
You're obviously some Benjamin Button type freak.
7:30 tonight on 10 and 10 Play.
La Roche-Posay. Developed with dermatologists. New Mela B3 Dark Spot Serum. Multi-patented Melasil. Our new active to fight the appearance of hyperpigmentation like never before. 85% dark spots visibly corrected. Proven on all skin tones. New Mela B3 Serum.
You haven't shopped around until you've tried Yui. What does shop around mean?
Well, with car insurance, you should try a few options so you find the best one.
Is that like how Auntie Kate shops around to find the best boyfriend?
I just have high standards, darling.
Oh. You haven't shopped around until you've tried Yui. You insured.
The DeLonghi Aletta Explore. From freshly ground beans, create over 50 hot and iced coffees with one touch. Latte crema technology for hot or cold microfoam. Or make cold brew in under 5 minutes. The Aletta Explore from DeLonghi, now at Harvey Norman.
We can see more of the world than ever. With Bridgestone Tech Check, you see what needs repairing now and what can wait, so you can go with confidence. Bridgestone Select Tyre and Auto.
Bang, bang on my drum, my tribe's everywhere. Cause what you want, we don't care. Living my best life, living my best life. Do what I feel like, living my best life.
Sam knows if you want better quality, sometimes you need to switch things up. Which is why he switched to Seniors Home and Contents Insurance from Australian Seniors. By combining his policies, he saved 20% so he could afford a new oven. And he chose a higher excess to help lower his premiums. With Home and Contents Insurance that really looks after you, life's not just good, it's booming. Get a quote today. Call Australian Seniors on 136 043 or visit seniors.com.au.
Bet you've never seen a sale like this before. Do not buy any blinds until you see Burns for Blinds.
It's official! Burns have dramatically dropped prices.
Burns have burned the price book. Get the hottest price you've ever seen.
Indoor blinds, outdoor blinds, cafe blinds, roll-lock shutters, security doors, curtains.
You name your price. You tell Burns what you want to pay. Get a free quote, then make an offer. And you get free installation.
Better phone Burns for Blinds now.
Nobody.
Try Hungry Jack's new Mexican Whopper, loaded with crispy bacon, flame grilled beef, spicy tomato relish, jalapenos and crispy corn chips. Or fall in love with Mexican Jack's fried chicken. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
We know how Gibbs' story ended. Now see how it all began. Gibbs' origin story starts 8:40 Wednesday on 10 and 10 Play.
You're watching 10 News First. A businessman accused of indecently assaulting multiple potential employees during job interviews has fronted court. Brianna Boylan joins us live. Bri, he intends to apply for separate trials.
He does, Kate, but that would require 18 trials for 18 complainants alleging Solomon Farah touched them inappropriately at his business SkinFit Co on Curry Street. It's part of an ongoing investigation into the 67-year-old whose alleged offending spans over 2 decades. He's also facing 1 count of child sexual abuse. Farah today applied for relaxed bail conditions so he could exercise, but was denied the privilege. Magistrate Smart describing his number of charges as concerning. The outcome, good news for prosecutors who opposed variations to his home detention bail conditions out of concern for the community's safety. Farah will return to court in February when he's due to answer his charges. Kate.
Thank you, Bri. Forecasts already point to a nasty bushfire season for South Australia, and another crucial resource has been flown in, poised to assist. An extra Black Hawk will be based at Parafield Airport and could be called upon to help neighbours interstate.
A firefighting tool that sucks. 4,500 litres in close range to a fire. SA is now home to an extra Black Hawk, joining the current fleet of 4 that's been crucial in Adelaide Hills fires.
If we hadn't had the availability of them, fires that we were able to extinguish within a day would potentially have gone for 5 or 7 days.
Canberra's forked out for 3 new aircraft that can be deployed nationally when called upon. They are stationed in Queensland, Sydney and Parafield Airport. Ours will also respond to WA and Western Victoria. It can be used in floods as well and heavy lifts after storm damage, like last week in the far north.
We can't eliminate these risks, but we can prepare for them.
That's precisely what the CFS wants those in bushfire-prone areas to do around their properties. For example, moving any flammable materials like wood from around the house and cleaning gutters.
Most fires that will cause the loss of a house generally occur as a result of ember attack.
but also being aware of the risk in the area and have a written plan in place the entire household has rehearsed.
Top of your list, without question, a bushfire survival plan would be my highest priority.
There are parts of the state where the soil is right now as dry as it usually would be in December. Now that means that window to prepare properties is closing.
And with the cooler conditions over the coming weeks, there is still the opportunity.
Brett Clappis for 10 News First.
Police have released CCTV of suspects wanted over the theft of 4 trailers from a business in the northern suburbs. It happened in the early hours back in August when 2 men in a light-coloured SUV stopped at the property on Main North Road at Paraka. They cut a padlock on the security gate and stole 2 trailers before returning for the other 2. Anyone with information should call police. A new app has been designed to record evidence of domestic violence, and it comes with a Bluetooth device that can activate a call for help. It's designed to record video and audio during an attack while sending out an emergency SOS.
On Christmas Day 2004, Karen Anderson's partner launched an unprovoked verbal tirade.
He was carving the Christmas ham and he was just getting angrier and angrier for no apparent reason and just abusing me.
She knew the attack was about to turn physical.
I just know that every instinct in me said I had to run.
Karen escaped the relationship and now helps other women who are victims of abuse with the help of the I'm Safe app.
With the touch of a button, you're able to notify your personal support network.
So when a woman presses the SOS, the phone sends the alert to all their trusted contacts. It sends the live location.
Importantly, the dangerous encounter is recorded.
It will record your camera, so front and back camera, which is really ingenious, and also the sound.
And that function can be activated remotely using a Bluetooth tile.
So basically you don't have to go to your phone, open the app and press the SOS, but rather just with the click of a Bluetooth, which is the size of a keychain.
If I had had the record button, I could have gone to the police with this is what was said. Instead, what I got was everybody argues and you're a really bad witness.
All the data is stored on the app, including photos, videos and sound recordings that can be accessed later, including during any court proceedings.
It does provide another angle where it is not just your word against somebody else's.
These are threats of physical violence that haven't been implemented yet, but are there.
So far, 25,000 users across 150 countries have signed up.
Probably when we help 1 million women, I'll probably feel a bit satisfied, I guess.
Jodie Oddie for 10 News First.
Now we'll go to Max Burford for sport. But Max, tonight it's actually weather you're interested in.
Yeah, one weather pattern in particular, Kate. Fog. Darcy Fogarty, that is. The Big Crow has signed a big deal. We'll hear from him after the break. Plus, get me to Cooper's, the new Red, eager to experience what he calls the best atmosphere in the country. And action. Jackson, the NFL's $388 million man, proves he can do it all for the Ravens.
The small town waging war on one big bank tonight, 6:30.
It's the Top Gear Boys versus the Colombian car wrecker.
Oh, that was close!
Can they conquer the world's longest hill climb?
Get out, JLP!
7:30 Thursday on 10 and 10 Play.
When it comes time to top it off with Buller sour cream, more is never enough. Some things are just unfakeable.
Yeah. Fasten up your seatbelts, do a double take. Don't need to be a millionaire to roll this kind of way. Yeah, I got the recipe to do it every day. Straight to the top, and that's where we gon' stay. Yeah. Step it up your game. Yeah, yeah, we do it every day. Step it up, step it up your game.
Take it to the next level. New Mitsubishi Pajero Sport.
Yeah,
It's Tuesday.
If you've been looking for life insurance to protect your loved ones, the search is over. Call Choosy today. Their award-winning free comparison service helps you inspect the details and compare policies from a range of trusted life insurance brands so you can be more choosy. Make today your Tuesday. Go to choosy.com.au or call 13 70 67 to compare, choose and apply. Don't leave life insurance to chance. Leave it to Choosy.
There's a lie, a certain kind of light that always shines on me. There's a way, everybody said, to do each and every little thing. Oh, you must know what it's like, baby, you must know what it's like to love somebody, the way I love you.
Good to go, mate.
A very important purple has landed at Macca's. Try the world-famous Grimace Shake. Or the Grimace Meal with a Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets and feel like a kid again.
The sun is beautiful, but harms and dries out skin. Nivea Sun goes beyond its SPF 50+ and moisturises and protects from UV damage. Protects and moisturises. Shield your skin with Nivea Sun.
We can see more of the world than ever. With Bridgestone Tech Check, you see what needs repairing now and what can wait, so you can go with confidence. Bridgestone Select Tyre and Auto.
HCF gives members CanStar winning health cover and the lowest average rate rise of the major funds. Now we're also giving members the chance to take over our ads. Isn't that right, Stuart? Hold on. Do you want some help? We'll get hair and makeup.
There comes a moment when a victim becomes a survivor.
Help us get justice. New SVU starts 9:40 tonight on 10 and 10 Play.
This Sport Report proudly supported by Paramount Plus. Catch a mountain of entertainment only on Paramount Plus.
Welcome back. Crows star Darcy Fogarty has turned his back on free agency next year, instead signing a monster contract extension to stay with Adelaide. The 25-year-old has committed for the next 7 seasons, promising his best is still yet to come.
There's no fog surrounding Darcy's future. The key forward's clear. He's a Crow for life.
It means the world to me to sort of be around for a little bit longer. I've got massive goals and sort of dreams to be a one-club player and stick it out with the club that gave me the opportunity at the very start.
The 25-year-old ignoring the lure of free agency, which would have come at the end of next season. A 6-year deal keeps him at home through 2031.
It's gone so quick, and I sort of still feel pretty young, I guess. But yeah, going into year 8, it gets a little bit scary that it does fly by and you sort of got to make the most of it.
Something he's started doing in recent years. The beginning was slower. He managed just 10 games in his first season in 2018.
I remember coming in, I was a pretty fat 18-year-old and had a lot to learn, and then I was lucky enough to sort of, I guess, develop some mentors really quickly in Tex and Tom Lynch.
Since then, he's become a member of the leadership group and his goal-kicking totals have climbed every year, culminating in a club-leading 41 this season.
Hopefully the best is yet to come, so I'm starting to build some consistency now, so hopefully it continues on, and the last part of the career can keep getting better.
The forward underwent a minor knee clean-out ahead of the upcoming pre-season. He's already back training with teammates, hoping to right the wrongs of a forgettable 2024.
Underperforming a little bit last year has sort of lit a bit of fire in the belly for the boys. So, I think it's going to be a really, really good pre-season leading into next year.
Jace Kemp for 10 News First.
After a 10-year break, the AFL is bringing back the Indigenous All-Stars game. The league's best Indigenous players will go head-to-head with Fremantle in a pre-season hit-out. Michael Walters and new recruit Shea Bolton happy to trade in the purple for an All-Stars Guernsey.
As a young kid, you aspired and dreamed to play in these sort of games, and I used to watch Andrew McLeod's and the Davey brothers run around up in Darwin when they were playing in this game, so it's something that I really wanted to play in.
You go back to round 17, I think Shea had 7 shots on goal, took a hanger on me and it was raining, so if that's anything to go by, I'm in for a day.
The February 15 game is in response to declining Indigenous player numbers within the AFL. Meanwhile, Fremantle has confirmed it'll pursue power delistee Quinton Narkle. Port Adelaide midfielder Cheyenne Hammond will line up for her 50th AFLW game against the Suns this weekend. Gold Coast a fitting opponent as the 26-year-old's former club before she found a home at Alberton.
Kind of fitting to have my 50th game against my old club. It's pretty special, to be honest, and you know, I'm still close with some of those girls, and to play alongside my teammates but also my old teammates is something pretty special.
Port got a huge boost today with star young ruck Matilda Schultz cleared of any major knee injury, leaving her likely to play this weekend. Trainer Chris Waller has boldly declared he'll press on to Saturday's Cox Plate with Via Sistina despite the mare spectacularly tossing jockey James McDonald at this morning's breakfast with the best.
The Cox Plate has seen plenty of heart-stopping moments, but few quite like this. One of the country's best jockeys dumped at the top of the straight by Via Sistina.
Bandage has come loose. She stood on the bandage. Then a piece of gear is broken as she sort of tripped, and then that piece of gear has got caught up in her back leg, and that's given her a fright.
What about you? How were you in that moment?
I'm not too bad, yeah, I pulled up okay.
Yeah, no injuries or anything?
Yeah, touch wood.
With a stunned crowd watching on, what followed were scenes no trainer ever wants to see, as Chris Waller's star mare kept going and going and going. 3 times around Moonee Valley in a track gallop more akin to a Melbourne Cup.
Yeah, there's your Melbourne Cup ride. She can run the trip.
I didn't really want to find out this morning though, that's the thing.
When they're at this stage of their preparation, they're very fit animals, right? So I couldn't imagine this would really bottom her out, but yeah, it's not ideal, that's for certain.
After a thorough check from vets, the plan at this stage is to push on. The week will clearly be anything but straightforward for Chris Waller and his team. They've immediately scrapped plans for a gallop on Thursday morning and will reserve their final call right up until race day. With the focus elsewhere, Jamie Carr happily slipped under the radar, coming away beaming from her gallop on Godolphin Colt broadsiding. How good is he?
I've never ridden a horse like him. I'm still going by that. I think he's the best horse I've ridden. 9 runners making up an intriguing field with the front-running theatrics of Pride of Jenny. This edition might be Catch Me If You Can.
Wow, they're definitely her tactics. I can't see any reason to change them. She's pretty good at it.
Can they catch her?
Well, I hope not.
Katie Price for 10 News First.
Alex Carey has continued his stunning start to the summer, leading SA into a strong position against Queensland. The hosts had a bit to juggle, with Nathan McSweeney raising the bat for another half-century, but Alex Carey was the main man, racing through the 90s in just 2 balls.
Cracks that one for 6. That is well over into the stands.
See you later.
There it is.
There it is.
Pulls it. It's got the 100.
That's what a mighty 100 that is.
Carey is still at the crease late on day 3 with SA's lead approaching 350. 19-year-old Test hopeful has given selectors something to think about, surviving a rampaging Scott Boland. He knocked over Nick Maddinson, then Steve Smith for a duck after he didn't offer a shot. But Constas fought hard, weathering the storm before tea in tough batting conditions.
Not out though. And he's driving square on this occasion, and that should reach the rope.
Constas cuts well. That'll be 4. Well controlled.
He looks a talent. However, on 43, he was caught out by Todd Murphy. Earlier, Mitch Stark ripped out a 6-wicket haul. Victoria, though, very much in the box seat to win. The prospect of a raucous home crowd has new red Dylan Perez buzzing ahead of their season opener this Saturday. Perez will likely line up as the right wing-back for Adelaide against Central Coast after joining from Western Sydney. After 8 years in the league, he's seen enough to make a bold call about the Reds' home ground advantage.
At Coopers, it was always a stadium that when I was at other clubs I loved coming to. When I saw the fixture and it was away to Adelaide United, I knew it was going to be a great game with a great atmosphere. I still believe that's probably the best atmosphere in the country.
Well, we like to think so. If you can't make it to Hindmarsh on Saturday afternoon, the Reds will be on 10 Bold from 4 p.m. as part of our new double-header A-League coverage. Matilda's veteran Michelle Heyman says the next 2 games will let the team take stock after the Tony Gustafsson era ended. The Aussies looking forward to starting with a clean slate.
I think it's a big learning curve, and with new staff, with new, in a new environment, again, anything can happen, and I think you have to take that as a positive and just run with it and go with it.
The Aussies face Switzerland this weekend, their first game since their disappointing Olympics campaign. Start banking your sleep now for that one, Tilly's fans. Coverage starts at 4 a.m. on Saturday morning. It is live and exclusive on Paramount+. The Diamonds will have to draw on their resilience tomorrow night when they face the Silver Ferns again following a 14-goal thumping. The side needs to lift for coach Stacey Marinkovic's 50th game in charge.
It's nice to be able to reflect back and what we've been able to achieve together, but I guess, after a loss, all you want to do is get back on the winning run, and, we just put our heads down, and for me, it's a privilege every time that you step out there.
The Kiwis lead the 4-match Constellation Cup 1-0. Well, Lamar Jackson is the dream quarterback for an NFL franchise because he can do absolutely everything. The 2-time MVP threw 5 touchdowns in the Ravens' win over the Buccaneers, but he wanted to do more.
Toss to Henry, bends it back. Here he goes again. Got a good block from Lamar Jackson, just getting out in front of it. Did he stay in? No, he stepped out.
Yeah, given the Ravens pay Jackson $78 million a season, we're not sure they'd approve of the blocking, but his teammates love him for it, and so do we. That's why Action Jackson pockets our player of the day, thanks to the SA 4-wheel drive show. For $78 million, Kate, I will do whatever they want me to do on that field.
Almost anything. Thank you, Max. Up next, we'll head back to the Bay for Tiff's weather.
He's been picked to play, but his wife's in charge.
I've got better luck than here, so you come up here.
Does he dare go against her advice?
Do you want to be single for the rest of your life?
Next on Deal or No Deal.
At Terry White Chemmart, we know one of the toughest things about losing weight is keeping on track. Talk to us today on how we can support you on your medical weight loss journey. Terry White Chemmart, dedicated to care.
It's a DIY kind of day. I can feel it in my bones. It feels tingly. Luckily, Super Jeep Auto also offer DIFY. Do it for you with super quick battery fitting and testing. Make it super at Super Jeep Auto.
Grease and grime build up in no time. Stop struggling to clean the grease and call the police. The Grease Police. The magic degreaser and cleaner that cleans almost anything. Grease Police works on nearly all stubborn messes, even ones that have been baked on for years. The secret's the super concentrated formula that emulsifies grease, dirt and grime. So effective, just one dropper full destroys this oily stain. Even greasy restaurant equipment is no match for the power of Grease Police. Watch it quickly go to work, breaking down the grease with ease. We burned grease onto this pan with a blowtorch, then tried to clean it with this popular kitchen cleaner. It barely makes a dent. But Grease Police's super powerful formula cleans up what the competition left behind. Take it outside to make quick work of car wheels. And it's never been easier to clean a barbecue. It's biodegradable and safe to use even on the grill. Hard to look at oil spills on your driveway disappear with just a few sprays. But Grease Police cleans so much more than just grease. It'll clean shower doors in seconds. Plus gummy tile and grout come clean thanks to Grease Police. Watch this, dried on spray paint. An impossible stain. Try another best-selling cleaner and you'll be scrubbing all day. Just spray it with Grease Police and wipe messes without a trace. You could spend up to $100 for a cabinet full of cleaners. Or you could get Grease Police with its powerful concentrated formula that cleans and degreases almost anything. Call Global Shop Direct or go online now to get 2 bottles of Grease Police for only $49.95. Test Grease Police at home against regular household cleaning products. And if our incredible degreaser and cleaner doesn't do a better job, then send them back within 30 days for a full refund of the product price. When grime is the crime, you need Grease Police. But it's not available in any stores. Order your 2 bottles of Grease Police from Global Shop Direct now.
Great idea!
Global Shop Direct!
When the lucky country isn't so lucky. It's lucky you're with Amy.
Lucky you're with Amy.
Good to go, mate.
A very important purple has landed at Macca's. Try the world-famous Grimace Shake. Or the Grimace Meal with a Big Mac or 10-piece chicken McNuggets and feel like a kid again.
Harvey Norman super deals on laptops. Save $120 on this Asus VivoBook Go 15, now $378. Save over $300 on this Lenovo Yoga with OLED screen. Save $500 on this powerful HP Envy X360. At Harvey Norman now.
Paramount Plus is the only place to see every Matildas match.
Now watch me take flight. The highest of heights. We win at all costs, no matter the price. I'm taking my slice.
And the GOAT says...
Cheer on the Combank Matildas as they take on Switzerland, then Germany.
The Matildas are showing them how it's done.
Switzerland versus the Combank Matildas and Germany versus the Combank Matildas. Streaming live Saturday and Tuesday. Only on Paramount Plus.
This weather report proudly supported by Paramount Plus. Catch a mountain of entertainment only on Paramount Plus.
Adelaide's top stories. The teen driver who hit and killed Charlie Stevens has avoided jail. Investigations underway into a tobacco shop break-in at Craigmore as detectives reveal they've made 5 Operation Eclipse arrests. And there'll be more support for South Australians this bushfire season with a Black Hawk added to the fleet. Well, it was a little grey in the city today, but that hasn't stopped Tiff Warne from heading to the Bay, where Tiff, our seafood lovers are in for a big treat this weekend.
They are indeed, Kate. The Sea to Shore Festival is back for 2024, but for the first time it'll span across both days of the weekend. So SA's finest seafood will be on offer, all cooked up by local chefs. Now, in times gone by, this festival has drawn crowds of up to 25,000 down here to the Glenelg foreshore, and organisers are hopeful there'll be plenty more here this weekend. And as well, MasterChef legend and Adelaide restaurateur Laura Sharrett has been named as festival ambassador, so she'll be curating the event to see some delicious seafood dishes prepared by local chefs and served with local gin and wines. Yummy! It all kicks off from 11 a.m. Saturday with plenty to enjoy if seafood is your thing, so it could be quite the catch. You'll just be happy as a clam. Now, weather-wise in the city, we had a warm overnight low of 17 before we reached this top of 24, but those clouds rolled in, so it was a little on the grey side this evening. Around the suburbs, 23 the top at Glenelg and Noarlunga, Elizabeth May 22, Gawler and Murray Bridge 21, 18 degrees in Murray Bridge. Around the rest of the state, 37 degrees in Coober Pedy and Roxby Downs. Wimmera was 34, Port Augusta 24. Further south, Kingscote and Narracourt made 20, Port Lincoln and Newry hit 19. 18 was the top in Mount Gambier and Victor Harbour. Taking a look around the country, Sydney was 23, a warm one in Melbourne, right up to 31, 28 at Brizzy. On the satellite, heat troughs extending through inland WA and western SA are bringing low to mid-level convective cloud. On the synoptic chart, a cold front will move across southeastern coastal waters later tomorrow before the next high pressure system moves in. Around the country tomorrow, 27 and partly cloudy in Sydney, 21 and possible showers in Melbourne, 29 the top for Brizzy, 19 and showers in Hobart. Returning home, winds easing 32 for Coober Pedy, 31 in Roxby Downs. Wimmera is heading for 29, 22 in Ceduna, Clare and Maitland, 23 for Whyalla, 26 in Port Augusta, 24 in Port Pirie. Further south, Renmark heading for a top of 27, 22 in Keith, Port Lincoln and Kingscote, 18 and showers in Mount Gambier, 20 the top for Narracourt. Around the suburbs tomorrow, 22 for Gawler and Elizabeth Glenelg, heading for 21, 20 in Noarlunga and Mount Barker. On metro waters, south to southwesterly winds about 10 knots, seas up to 2 metres. In Adelaide, we're expecting a low of 13 before a mostly sunny top of 21. Looking ahead at the rest of the week, Thursday, a partly cloudy top of 20, Friday 21, Saturday we're warming to 27, woohoo! Sunday and Monday a mostly sunny 25, next Tuesday up to 26. So the good news, Kate, hopefully it won't be as grey like it is today. You shouldn't need your puffer jacket on Saturday for the Seafood Festival.
It is a good looking forecast. Thank you, Tiff. That's Adelaide's 10 News First for now. Thanks for your company. Have a lovely night. We'll see you tomorrow.